That was 8k, just over 8k threshold. I always start off super quick on them workouts. I think the first k was like 340, 341, and then 340. I think I averaged through 5k it was like 342. I'm like thinking, fucking hell. And then the last 3k, I think I lost 2 seconds per kilometre on it. That was just with the effort though. I was trying to match the effort that threshold would be, and I didn't want to push too hard, and I could tell I was getting to that point where if I went any quicker to keep that 343, 342 pace, I would go over. So it averaged at 344, just a little bit over 8 kilometres, decent session. The humidity is a bastard, humidity is horrible. I need to go home and change my trainers, and I need to change my top, because it's like I've just come out of the bath or something. Anyway, we keep moving. Right, no messing about, get the numbers up, because we are ready to roll straight off the bat. We would have gone through them lights then, we'd have been on to stop on time, but we're not, are we? We're on a red light, which means we're going to be late. It's all fair though. So it starts at 14:39 and it's 14:39 now. If nobody's at that stop, I don't need to stop there anyway, I can just cruise on through. You see, sometimes when we're doing the 143s, you can get the kind of like, you can leave the I've left this stand late many times at the 143 and you think, oh no, but there's that much help throughout this whole journey from here. You meet the 142s, you've got the 43s, the 41 goes up this way, there's a load of buses that just go up this way, the 147 to a degree.
This is a group called some 143s. We can now go back to normal route in Northampton. The RTC is now clear.
So there's a lot of help that goes up this route that gives you a bit of relief with it. So you soon catch your time back up. Anyway, rock and roll, get this done now. No one's there, so we don't need to stop. Ah, shit. Should have let him go, but I didn't. Let's get going anyway. Actually says I was 1 minute late leaving that stand. So the 143 is going inbound. It's pretty much like you have the first, you leave Central Road there, then you've got the Christie, which is the first bus stop. Nobody's here. It can be a bit of a popular stop, but the Christie is more what I would class. There's Oak Road, so to there, that's where the entrance is to it. But there's another stop here, which someone's actually at, and this is Everett Road, and this is just as popular as like people get off here, because the Christie stop going outbound is just on the opposite side of the road to this one. So there's a football match on today. Man United are at home, which I suppose will be heavy traffic. The kick off at 3 o'clock I think, but that means it's going to be chilled for a couple of hours anyway. Where I'm going, it's a protected road. You go past Poundland when you get through Rusholme. Cars aren't allowed down there. You get fined if you go down there. It's like a bus corridor only until after a certain time. Now we've got this bus stop here at the top of the road, which is always a popular stop. Always a popular stop. You have to be cautious on your right though when you're pulling off. Because when you pull off, cars like this chap here, right next to me, and they come right on the side of your bus. And as if to say like, you're not getting any room. And these lights here don't stay on green for very long. And usually what happens, them lights there, them pedestrian ones, if they've been pushed, they turn on red, not shortly after. So the 142 comes up here to our right, comes up this road and meets us there. So the 142 opposite on the other side of the road is going to be turning that way to go back to Parswood. So this is at the point where you meet quite a bit of help when you come up this road. The next bus stop is a busy one. It's like a very heavy student one. A lot of it's student heavy this route because it's the 143 and the 43. You go through Withington, you go through Fallowfield, you go through Rusholme. It's a very popular student heavy route where all the students are. So now we can move and it only has 2 timing points, which is Platt Lane and Manchester Royal Infirmary. Now when we go after a certain time of a weekend, after like 6 o'clock at night, you have the diversion on the rush home diversion, which I'm not sure if I'll be doing. It might be actually about 8 o'clock that gets put on. Tight road though, the buses, some of them panic. So there's some people here for me at this stop. They're like interchanging though, these buses are just completely all the time they are. So we leave Withington Library there, and that chap in the Golf is letting us out. We'll say thank you to him. And the next stop up here is a busy one. I think this is like, you've got, that's a busy one. The next one, these are all busy. So you're just going to hear that word a lot. Busy, busy, busy. But a lot of it's just a waiting game, you know. You're just stuck in lights. I mean, the job is easy enough when you boil it down to whatever you want to boil it to in your mind. But you can feel pressure with the running board sometimes, and you can feel pressure with the minimum layover that you have. I'm talking about the timing points in the layover. That can be a little bit like, wow. You might get like 4 minutes. Like, what have I got in Piccadilly there when we get to Piccadilly? I've got 5 minutes, which usually is doable. Like I say, depending on the help that you get through this, you can get to Platt Lane timing point early. Alright, easy one red. But what you do get at the weekends, a lot of them at weekends, right, is learner cars. Everyone's got to learn to drive, right? So there's loads of learner cars, more of them on the road, and you got to be really cautious. You know, you got to read the road. You have to really read the road and read what car's in front of you, because there's been plenty of times I've been driving and the learner car in front of me has been turning left, indicating left and everything, and all of a sudden just completely brakes for nothing in the middle of the road, which a normal person driving wouldn't do that, or rarely do that, but learners are a little bit more apprehensive, aren't they? So like, we come up here, this looks like a busy stop here. Are these for me? One of them is anyway. You can never tell when people are approaching the stop. And let's get them in. Right. I'll leave that stop. Busy stop. Everyone wanted the bus at that stop. Sometimes you can catch like a bit of a rotation where you can have like 10 or 12 people just walking toward a stop that you'll stop at, that will then get the bus. Some people just walk past and join the queue, like nonchalantly, where you're not getting no energy off them, where you think they've not give you a hand signal that they want you to wait or anything like that. So you have to kind of like be sort of an expert at reading body language, right? So the 142 is there, that's picking up the people. 142 and me go the same way. That's picking up the people on that stop. So this next stop here, Friendship Inn. Oof. I'd say this is the busiest stop on the whole route of the 43 and the 143, and that is saying a lot. Because right here, people come from everywhere, all sorts of directions as soon as they see the bus. Leave that stop. Yeah, that is a busy stop. But a lot of it, when I say like people come from everywhere, your job is to pick people up. But you don't just pick people up from the bus stop. If your job was just to stop every bus stop, which it is, and collect those people waiting for the bus, then it's okay. But you always have people running for the bus, people approaching the bus that want the bus, all sorts of things that are going on externally away from the bus stop. So these lights are busy old lights. Now this is the junction of Wilbraham Road, which gets a bit hectic here. You have the 150 and everything going that way, and then we go this way. Now there's a bus stop up here on the left before Owens Park. Owens Park's like where you get the inspectors have to go there. It can get that busy in the morning, and if you've got a bus behind you that's going the same way and someone's pressed the bell, you can pull in at that bus stop to let that passenger off or passengers off while that bus goes past you to serve the bus stop. But if nobody's behind you and someone presses the bell, you have to go to that bus stop. But people sometimes wait at this bus stop, but they shouldn't do it. It's not a pickup stop, it's a lighting only, so you're just literally dropping people off at it. It's about 100 yards down the road is the actual bus stop, not even 100 yards, so sometimes you do see people waiting there, but you can't stop there. The main stop is literally up the road by about 50 yards or something. So we come up here, now we'll go in through Fallowfield and exiting Fallowfield. Now the 42B is already at that picking people up, and we've not had anybody ring the bell, so we're good to go here. It's not indicated. That's another thing what you got to watch out for, man, with buses. Like when a lot of drivers can just whack their indicator on before even coming out, as kind of like a mechanism to slow cars down behind them to let them pass, and then they're ready to manoeuvre out. So you have to be ready with you. Just always be ready. If you see that indicator, slow right down. Right. Oh, it's busy though. Sometimes I've had it here where I am in the cycle lane where I'm here. These lights here now stopped. They have traffic that way and they've stopped the cyclists that way. Sometimes the cyclists carry on going. So come up here now and you adopt the bus lane, because it is for us. During peak time, this bus lane gets busy. This bus lane, the lane next to you gets busy. So this bus lane is like, you can just cruise right past everyone that's just parked up. Here's one of them new speed camera systems up here, but not that it would make a difference to the buses. That road can be a bit of a speed trap though. That's why it's... So, come up here now. I don't know when I'm next supposed to be at this timing point, but it should tell me on the ticket machine. I've not even checked. So we're bang on time, probably about a minute late. The 42B has took the helm there, so we're going to move out here and go right past it. Now these lights are on green, good. This is a bit of a problem junction. We do a left down there on the diversion after 8 o'clock on a weekend, down Platt Lane. And now as we enter the Curry Mile. This can be an unruly place to drive through at times, because you have vans like this doing this sort of stuff. Like this is proper sausage behaviour. Like proper. We come through here, and the first bus stop that we serve here, we only serve 2 going inbound and rush home, which is decent. There's about 5 on the way out, but there's always a busy one. In the morning it's not. You're always guaranteed to have people there in the afternoon and other times. Right, we're leaving that stop. So here now, look at this, this is sausage behaviour as well. Stop in the road for a chinwag. Down there is Severian College, which is why that stop can get really mad busy at times. So that is the first of 2 bus stops what we serve, going through the Curry Mile, and then you can have this as well where cars just like want to start parking up in the gaff. There's nothing coming, so I'm going to go around in before, like her, before she does a zillion point turn to get in that spot. It's worse when they reverse, because there's no warning reverse lights are coming on signal. Do you know what I mean? It's just literally, I'm going to stop in the middle of the road, then I'm going to start reversing and reverse parking into a spot, which is like, which you get in rush home all the time. Now, down here, the bell's gone for this. This is the last stop as we come through rush home. The next stop is St Mary's. Two people legging it for the bus there on the back half of that. So, see, a lot of it's just managing people's expectations and late people arriving for the bus and people wanting the bus and all sorts of mad stuff. So right now nothing's been pressed, which means we should just be able to cruise on past this stop because the 42B has just left here. So we'll go straight through St Mary's and then on to the next timing point, which we should get there on time. I think we've got to be at St Mary's at 3 PM dead, 3 o'clock on the dot, and it's 2:58. So providing from here to get to St Mary's to leaving, yeah, we'll leave on time. This is where we come past all the universities, we come past the Holy Name Church, we come past the Manchester Museum, we come past it all up here. This is where I was saying when you said you had like a protected cars don't come up here. Some guy then he just walked past a bus going exactly the same way to this bus behind the bus as I was setting off, and I told him that this bus goes the same way. Like, I'm not bothered, but it's just knowledge. Knowledge is power, man. And like most of the young students that are coming in, they just get told 43 and then or 143, where the majority of them that come up this road, they all go the same way. So that little bit of knowledge spreads out the load on the services, and it's like evenly distributes it, so people know they can catch that bus. Right, go up here. I fucking love it. I say it every time I come past it and I'm doing a video. I love that church, man. I can absolutely love that church. The Holy Name Church. Right, we stop there. Let's get out of here, get out of Dodge, and then just as you pass the Holy Name Church, you've got the Manchester Museum, which is another sick little building. Then you got the unis opposite that. Like some roadworks style thing going on here at the minute, where everyone's got to give way to the oncoming traffic on this end. When it's really busy down here as well, these pedestrian lights hardly ever change to red, because when you're going through like the period where the kids are off in the 6 weeks holidays, you're not used to stopping more or less here all the time. Not to say that you don't look, but they're ever changing to red when they're down there. Right, so we'll leave that spot there. Some lad got on and he said, I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel. It's like, good lad. Now we'll come up here. Now here is where I was before, coming up here with the 85 and the 86, going in and out that way. Except now I'm doing this little short trip Don't know, I think I'd prefer to do, people have asked me about my favourite route and all this sort. I think I'd prefer to do one long route. Like yesterday when I got into the depot, it was a split shift, so the second half of my split shift I was doing 3 trips on this, the 143, and I was asked could I change it, and I just said as long as I finish at the same time, I'm not mithered, what is it? And he said it's the 50, and to me that's sausage behaviour. To me that's good. I'm like, yeah, because that's just one trip to Media City and one trip back. That's a lot better than doing like 6 mini trips and 3 full trips on this service, because you sort of just go in one way and then come back and that's it. Whereas with this one you're going there, back, there, back, there, back. It's like the 80s. If you get a shift on the 80s, you're doing a lot of like trips to cover the time that you're working. Whereas some of the services like the 101s and the 103s, they're just that big. You'll just get like a nice decent stretch there where you just do 2 trips. 2 trips on the 101 is maximum. You know, or you might do a trip and a half and then run dead back from Piccadilly, but even that's good. Right, so we'll come through here now, and then we've got the Kimpton Clock Tower up here on the left, the Holiday Inn, but then after that you've got the St James building, and then we turn onto Portland Street at the very top. So the bell's gone here, we're going to pull here now. See who wants to get off. It's a bit of a popular shout, this one here, Chester Street. It's like Oxford Road Station really. Hey man, have a good day. Right, now these lights here, when I first started doing the buses, I hated these lights. Couldn't time them, panicked like mad because there's a red light camera on it, and the stopping distance and everything was different in a bus. And then there's another set of red lights here at the top, right? There's a red light camera on this one, and these used to set my anxiety off. I used to time them. I don't know more, but I know that they stay on green for about 30 seconds, and then they change back to red. But I just didn't want to get caught going through them where they just changed to an amber or something, and all of a sudden your back wheels go over the sensor when you've gone through it. How you should have gone through it because you didn't have time to brake, and then it flashes you and you get called into the office and all that stuff. That's a big building, that. But now it's like it's like my brain just knows when they're going to change. I literally used to time them. Now I don't. This is a nice building here. This is Edwardian Baroque architecture. This is the St James building just after the Palace Theatre. This Palace Theatre stood the test of time as well, I'm telling you. This has been through the mill. I've seen many signs go up and down that on the past couple of years. What are we on now? Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge, usually there's a start and end date to that stuff. You have to be careful here as well, because of a night time this can get pretty busy. What happens is there's a lot of people coming up here for night time. That I said, this is like a protected road. Over night time cars come up here, and they come up here and they do a left, a lot of them, and this road can just get backed up with people waiting to turn left. Like, I think both of these will be doing a left here. No, he had his indicator on in front and then changed his mind, and that one's just put the indicator on late. Right, so our turning, there's the St James building there. Our turning now is the right onto Portland Street here at McDonald's, and then it's the home straight all the way to Piccadilly Station. These lights also don't stay on green for long. You gotta watch people here crossing, right? They don't really pay attention to the cars on the road when they're crossing here, and the cyclists that are just swinging round this gaff. So the first bus stop here at Dickinson Street is a bit of a popular one. Not for loading people to Piccadilly, although people have been on here to Piccadilly, getting on here for the 200-yard walk, but for getting off. say that someone actually just got on there. It's literally 200 metres to Piccadilly. I honestly can't fathom how young kids in the 20s that are just fresh can get on there and get the bus up here. But it can catch you off guard, that. So now, what time are we supposed to be in Piccadilly on this first trip? 12 minutes past. So we're supposed to be in Piccadilly in 4 minutes, which is just probably about the right time for us to land on the 43 stand. Yeah, that's probably 4 minutes is probably just about the right amount of time to land on the 43 stand. So a lot of people aren't even looking where they're going here or here. And there's a bus on, it's coming in. It's in my mirrors, man. Just looking in my mirrors all the time, looking everywhere. This is a ruthless section of road. I hate it because people walk so close to the curb. It is unreal. Some of them even step onto the road. Now the buses here, they take up a lot of the road. I'm going to try and get round in there. People get stuck turning there. You can literally spend an age just sat there. Take our numbers off there anyway. Just because we might have a minute or two in Piccadilly. Right, this is the last stop. This is literally a lighting only. No one gets on here to Piccadilly. Stop there, that's like a cheat code stop. I don't know why everyone just doesn't get off there, because I would. Because it's going to take us about 3 minutes now to get round the bus station to get on the stand to let everyone off, whereas just get off there, you're basically in the gardens. You come round there now, these lights are on green, that's super good. Let me just give a little, you just got to let people know I'm coming through, man. I seen a video, a funny video, man, and there's this Scouser and he blasted his horn because someone was just parked in the road and some copper come over and the police guy was like, what are you doing with that, what's that horn for? It's to alert people of danger. Like, it's not your horn, the purpose of your horn is to alert someone of your presence. You're not just supposed to blast it like just every now and again, but like if I'm going through that turning that corner there, or if I'm going through the tram tracks on the 50, I'm always pressing me on a little bit just to alert everyone I'm there, because I've heard too many stories and seen too many things of bad things happening there. Right, so we'll end that trip now and then we'll get on our way with the next one. The next one we are due out in 6 minutes. So look, there's a space here. There's a spot here where there's these traffic lights here at the bottom of Piccadilly Gardens where, again, man, people don't look at them as to say like what's coming. So you just walk into the road. So the 143 is already departing there in front of me, going to West Didsbury, which I'll be shortly behind him. And I'll let all my passengers off here. Job's a good one. And that's been the 143 inbound.